140 laps complete. The car's in the back straightaway there. You see a lot of those skid marks down to the inside. We've had some tough crashes off turn number 2. None tougher than the one in that infield wall where you see that open area last year. Jeff Hammond has more in today's State Farm Safety Report.
1 year ago at this track, one of the sport's biggest stars took one of the biggest hits of his career. Almost immediately following the race, the track, in a joint effort with NASCAR, installed the safer barrier. So here are the changes. Here's the concrete wall that Jeff Gordon hit a year ago. Now you've got the energy-reducing foam along with a safer barrier that allows these guys, when they do make contact with it, to dissipate the energy and the impact. Great effort by NASCAR and the track.
Thanks, Jeff. The safer folks had to do some quick work to reconfigure the barrier for the sharp radius that the wall takes where that overlap is, so the emergency vehicles can get on the track, but they did, and that change was made here and at other SMI tracks.
You know, Mike, safety is a moving target. I mean, every time we think we've got our arms around it, something unusual, something that no one ever could imagine happens, and it's the reaction of NASCAR and the racetracks that I'm proud of. If something happens and they can fix it, they do.
You know, it only been 7 laps since we had that last caution when everybody made their pit stop. We had 8 cars that came to pit road on the first caution lap. Sam Hornish, the 77 car, gave up a top 10 position. For some reason, came to pit road and changed 4 tires.
Here's our next Ask.com question. Today's race is a tribute to the great Carroll Shelby. When did Carroll get his start in racing? You can go to Ask.com and enter the Ask.com NASCAR chat for a chance to win daily prizes and a trip to Talladega.
Now, you talk to him. He's 86 years old, right?
Correct.
So
do the math.
Do the math.
He borrowed a friend's car and won 2 races in the same day. And a great career was born. There's Carroll, who gave the command to start engines today.
Quite a character.
And we'll hear from him a little later on. Green flag, Jimmie Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Greg Biffle, Tony Stewart, and Kyle Busch up to 5th.
Didn't see anybody jump to the high side that time. They were kind of strung out when they came to the restart. We did get a report that Sam Hornish Jr., the 77, thought he had a flat tire. They wasn't sure. We're going to check and make sure to see if he did or didn't. And Reed Sorensen back in the race after that spin. Dale Jr. got back on the lead lap with a free pass. He's now up to 12th, racing Ryan Newman for 11th. I'm
not surprised because Dale Jr. had the fastest car here in practice yesterday afternoon. We got a battle here for second place between Biffle and Jeff Gordon. It's not over with. That outside, as you can see, a lot of momentum off a turn when you're on that outside.
Spin turn 2, hard car in the wall, and it's Eric Almirola.
Well, that's hard contact, and he got into, here comes some more, guys.
Yep, Casey Kane couldn't miss that one.
Somehow, I'm not sure Casey Kane, I don't know if he ever hit anything. He might have got a little bit of damage, but not much for what was going on over there.
The garage, I can't see it.
Tom is done, I can tell you that.
He can use his GPS to find his way back to the garage.
Need it, yeah.
We'll have a look under the blue billboard at this replay, and you'll see the 8 car come into view.
It's just up high there, and that thing just hooks. Back end comes around, and he corrects it, and it turns straight left. Straight right, I'm sorry.
I believe you're right. I believe Casey did not hit him.
What's this here with Casey Kane?
Yikes.
Oh, he did. Just caught him.
Just
nipped him.
But he came all the way across the racetrack in front of about 4 or 5 cars.
Yeah, the way he was going, I thought that new safer barrier back there was going to get a test, but he was able to get it wound up.
We're with Casey here.
Check up, check up. Check up.
Busy man.
Well, Darrell, what I saw there was he was looking to go outside Almirola to miss him and saw the hole close up and cut it hard left.
Yep, he spun himself out.
We gotta go.
He made a little contact, not much.
Scott Speed gets the free pass. We're under caution.
It's Vegas, baby.
146 laps complete in the Shelby 427. When a heart ailment forced Carroll Shelby out of the race car driver's seat, he took a small block Ford V8, put it in a British AC sports car, and he created one of the world's most loved hot rods, the Cobra. And it's still loved today.
I had no idea that it would last this long. I built 1,000 of them. Business went away. I went to Africa for 12 years. Performance went away, and here I am 40-something years later. Words can't express my appreciation for the fact that I'm not only still here, but still able to build cars at 86 years old, and people are still buying them. That's what I can't understand. And how lucky can you be to have your name on this race here?
It is amazing to all of us. The magic has lasted this long, and people still so lust after these cars. What would you like your legacy to be?
I never think about that because I'm too busy trying to build that next car. I better stop and think about that. I may be getting to the end of the road here pretty soon.
He is still building cars today. There's the 2010 Shelby Mustang GT500.
Pretty good attitude for a guy 86 years old. I don't know. I hadn't thought about that yet.
He's had a heart transplant, a kidney transplant, and he's just always thinking of the next car.
Yep.
How about that? Jimmie Johnson leads. Jeff Gordon, Greg Biffle, Tony Stewart, and Kyle Busch. No change in that front five as we come down for the restart. Completing caution flag at number 8 for Eric Almirola. Green flag.
car, Jeff Gordon gets such a good run on the high side off turn 2 on these restarts.
He likes that race car. He likes it so much he thinks he's just going to drive it right past his teammate and take the lead off turn 4. Look at that thing go.
He gets a good run off turn 4, and he will take the lead. Remember, he has 4 fresh tires. His teammate only has 2 fresh right side tires.
You know, one thing I'm noticing, Larry, and I think it's probably going to be a factor, or it already has been, turns 1 and 2 are shaded. That's going to give you quite a bit more grip in 1 and 2. The sun is beaming down hard on 3 and 4. Probably got a little bit more heat in that end of the racetrack, makes it a little bit slicker.
Jeff Gordon leads for the first time today. Jimmie Johnson has led 92 laps, more than twice as many as Greg Biffle, who's led 40.
You know, Darrell, you were talking earlier of all the guys in our top 12 that's had problems, but I'm going to tell you one guy that has not had a problem. He's been solid as a rock, qualified in the 8th position. He's back there running 4th right now. Tony Stewart in that 14 car, he keeps going here with a little past halfway. He's going to come out of here in great shape and points.
I agree, Larry. He's taking that team and just trying to really build it into something special, and it's really paying off for him.
Matt, another strong day for Tony Stewart.
Mike, you heard the old saying, the tone really starts with the leader. And last Sunday night after the race at Fontana, Stewart sounded more like Bobby Bowden than Bobby Knight, giving a great motivational talk to his crew members on the cool down lap, telling them 2 races, 2 top 10 finishes. What a way to start the year and more to come. And that's definitely what he's showing today. The last stop, they backed up on the change they made on the previous stop because they'd gone too far. They made the car too tight, trying to free it up a little bit more. Stewart, very solid so far, running in the 4th position.
And Mike, Larry, I think there's some drivers, some athletes, that they like to have a little skin in the game. It's kind of like playing golf with your buddies. You're not playing for anything. You don't play so hot. Throw a little money on the line, and the game changes. I think that's Tony Stewart. He likes his position. He likes what he's doing, and he's really enthusiastic about it.
There's his teammate Ryan Newman, and Krista Newman in 12th place right now.
Yeah, Mike, slowly, steadily coming up. You know, it's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum for these 2 Haas teammates. Tony Stewart's had a lot of luck, some good runs. Ryan Newman, not so much. He joked he and his crew chief Tony Gibson, they were not gambling at all in Vegas because they did not want to use up any good luck they might have. Right now things are going well. The only problem, his race car's been a little loose all day. In Vegas, loose slot machine's good. Loose race car, not so much.
Remember at one time Ryan was a lap down and got the free pass to get back on the lead lap.
Well, you know, another guy that was a lap down has really fought his way back, because this guy right here, Dale Jr., he's in 11th place, and he looks to me like he's amped up. Looks to me like he's had a couple of amps and he's ready to move forward.
But I think you mentioned it, Darrell. He had one of the fastest race cars yesterday in those practice sessions, just had that speeding penalty. But he only got that lap back about 50-something laps ago, so he's moved right through the field. You cannot have any amp, though. We can give it to Dale Jr., but not Darrell Waltrip.
How about Code Red?
Carl Edwards just moved out of frame there as you have a look at Kevin Harvick, and Carl working his way back up to 8th, Denny Hamlin 9th, and here's Harvick 10th as we watch from Hamlin's car.
And you know, the other thing back to the Roush engine problems that drives engine builders, car owners too crazy is everybody's got the same piece. 2 of them blow up, 2 of them run all day. Go figure.
That's pretty much what happened with the Hendrick cars at Auto Club Speedway last week.
This guy's overcome a lot too, Dick.
Yeah, Jamie McMurray really didn't have a very good time with the car that they unloaded, Darrell. Qualified 38th, way in the back of the pack, but they have worked on this car all day long. Right now, McMurray is running in the 6th position. The big worry that they have had, however, is that quite a while ago in this race, McMurray reported a vibration. He has said nothing more about that vibration since then, but on every single restart, crew chief Donnie Wingo cautions him, do not let the RPMs go high. They are worried about the engine. Steve Burns.
Well, Dick, Greg Biffle not reporting any vibrations, but he too concerned about the power plant in that 16 car. He said to crew chief Greg Irwin, the car's real good. I'm holding back, waiting for things to settle out. And Irwin said, I know it's hard to hold back with that good of a race car, but you're doing the right thing.
I would say so. We still have 127 laps to go. We're going to have 2 more pit stops. This thing may get in that run again, so not a bad plan.
It sounds like they're thinking that these engine problems are occurring as the guys go up through the gears, like on the starts and restarts and even leaving the pit box. Maybe they're over revving these things, damaging them going up through the gears. It sure sounds that way.
How about Jeff Gordon? He has now led 20,000 laps in his 17-year Sprint Cup career, and that's 7th on the all-time list.
Well, and there he is leading the race. And the other thing that's most impressive to me, he has won $100 million.
Yes,
that's impressive.
That would be a cha-ching when you're here in Vegas.
But Mike, you just said it. 17th season. I don't think we think that we don't realize Jeff Gordon has been here that long.
That kid?
That kid. Or they used to call him Wonder Boy.
That's right. Dale Earnhardt tabbed Jeff Gordon as Wonder Boy, and it was a play on the Batman and Robin thing of Boy Wonder. But when Earnhardt said it, it didn't come out Boy Wonder. It came out Wonder Boy, and it stuck for quite a while.
It didn't come out that way. That wasn't the way he meant it.
Well, and Jeff more than lived up to the name.
Yes, he has.
But Matt Yoakum told the story earlier, and I think that just goes to show you how tenacious that race teams are. You've got 2 back-to-back races on the West Coast. You've got 1 car picked to run Auto Club Speedway. You have this car prepared to run Las Vegas. After they ran so well at Auto Club Speedway, Jeff, Steve Letarte, and even Rick Hendrick said, if y'all want to run that car at Las Vegas, we'll make it happen. The truck driver and Jimmie Johnson's spotter, Earl Barbin, came to Las Vegas, put this car in Brendan Gaughan's truck shop here at the Speedway. The crew flew home to get parts to service this car, flew back out here, and worked in Brendan's shop on Wednesday and Thursday, loaded her back up Thursday night.
You get an attaboy for that, but it always, every time I hear that, I always remember what one of my famous car owners told me. Boy, that car ain't got a clue where it is.
No idea.
That's right.
And it's funny, the COT platform, the car of tomorrow, was supposed to end all that, building special cars or special racetracks or drivers favoring one car over another. But Darrell, you ride a good horse and you keep riding it.
Well, that's right, and that's what I told Larry when he was talking about, oh, we got a car around up here in the turn 4 area.
Michael,
I think it's
Waltrip.
a 55 car. He had been riding so high. That does not surprise me. He was rim riding, I'm telling you.
Come on in here. Let's get 4 on it. Get 4 on it right here. 5, 4, 3-2 right here, Michael. Easy, right here.
Wow, that got Booty Barker up on the chip.
Boy, it did. But Michael has been making dust fly the last several laps, and I think he just gets it up there a little wee bit too high that time. See him up high
above the black.
Yeah, and he just got it in there a little too hot and a little too high, and around she goes. I don't think he hurt it much.
So Waltrip scrapes the wall, knocks the end plate off the wing.
I thought. And you know what else, Mike? That's another car in the top 12.
In the point standings.
In the point standings right now.
7th coming in to this race.
Run inside.
Now Elliott Sadler had to take a little more evasive action, and
his splitter's just like a snow plow, though. Look at the grass packed up in there.
If those are in fact saw teeth, he just needed it. He just sawed up the he just sawed up the infield.
Digger's not going to like this. Yikes! Robbie Gordon. All right, David Gilliland. He is the recipient of the free pass for caution number 9. So his number 71 will come around and be back on the lead lap. Dick Berggren.
Well, Jimmie McMurray is going to take 4 tires. Reason being, he ran over some of the debris from that accident. They don't want to have him go out with a tire that may be going down. Chassis so good, they're just changing tires. Chassis adjustment. Steve.
Dick Greg Biffle in the 16 car says this thing is perfect. Do not touch it. It's starting to free up. There you see the 16, Matt.
Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart, 1st and 4th, both complained about the same exact characteristic with their car. It was tight when they were going back in the gas. Adjustments for both Gordon and Stewart.
I believe we had a little more rolling of the dice. Very fitting. Looked like several teams like Todd Parrott, Bobby Labonte, the Ask.com 96 car, 2 tires, I'd say, as well as Brian Vickers and Martin Truex Jr.
Boy, Truex has done a nice job after losing that axle shaft of getting back on the lead lap, and now back up into the top 5. Getting ready to go back to green with a new top 4. Jeff Burton, Bobby Labonte, Brian Vickers, and Martin Truex Jr. due to pit strategy. They are lined up behind the safety car, ready to go green. Hey, this could be the year. The Cubs are 4-0 in Cactus League play. What'll happen beginning April 11th when Fox Saturday Baseball returns to bring you a full season of the game's greatest matchups. Catch all the excitement. Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week beginning April 11th, only on Fox.
You know, we mentioned Jeff Burton a while ago, what a good day he's having, and those guys got to be happy with that when you look at the fact they finished 28th at Daytona. Total disaster last week at Fontana, finished 32nd, came in here 30th in the points. They got to feel good about this run.
Another guy I've been watching is Bobby Labonte here in the Ask.com car. He's been hanging in there pretty well in the top 10 too.
And who's his majority car owner? Tom Garfinkel, the head of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and Jeff Morad, who's now with the Padres organization, now was in the truck having a look. And here we go, green, as Jeff Burton brings them down.
Just want to confirm, Scott Miller, Jeff Burton, the 31 car, went with 2 right side tires only, as well as Bobby Labonte, Brian Vickers, and Martin Truex Jr., the top 4.
How about a crank it up?
Sounds good to me.
Jeff Burton holding off Bobby Labonte and Brian Vickers. Chevy Ford Toyota battle here for the front 3 spots. We've got Gophers and we've got Squirrels. Kyle Busch coming off turn number 2.
Oh, got a car up against the wall. Turn 4, guys. It's the 11 car.
Denny Hamlin.
Now he goes around.
Get up there.
Another car that just got up too high.
Now go around. He's on pit road.
He got up too high, got that loose stuff down there. Around it went. Looked exactly like the 55 car of Michael Waltrip a bit ago. Starts up the hill, gets a little loose. Actually, he gets loose before he gets there. But when he gets in the loose stuff, it's out of his hands then. The reason it snapped around like that is because it picks up all that debris on the tires, and then the car, you don't have any control over it. It just spins on around like that. You can see he got in a little hot, got loose getting in. All that dust and dirt.
Well, let's ride with Denny Hamlin through this one.
Pretty good lick on the right side of that car.
Just keep it up there.
And let's get Dale Jr.'s view. Slip sliding away.
Just get up above that black. There is no grip whatsoever. Now that caution was a big break for John Andretti, who got the free pass, as well as Marco Ambrose that got one of his laps back.
And watch Kyle Busch over here, brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue 14. Got up under Kyle, got him really arrow loose, and I thought he was going to spin around, but he didn't.
Nice save. Watch the grandstand, which is pretty well packed here today. Coming to their feet is Denny Hamlin.
Looks like the wave.
On the wave, exactly.
Digger's waving goodbye.
Chris Powell, general manager of the track, says they had a near sellout crowd here for today's race. And like many tracks, they got aggressive with their ticket pricing, put a number of seats on sale just this morning, and did very well.
Yeah, he said a lot of those seats over there in turns 3 and 4, they were sold, but the sun is shining on the down. It's pretty hot over there this afternoon. A lot of people had moved out of their seats over in the shade.
Wonder how many of them moved to the Hollywood Hotel.
It's pretty crowded down there already.
we lost our Elvis costumes, but we're keeping an eye with this 10th caution here. The record for cautions at this track set last year, we had 11. We still have a way to go. Just a quick recap. Matt Kenseth, the story forget history. On lap 7, engine problem. 9 previous races at Vegas, he finished every lap but one. He's already on his way to Atlanta. 4 cars out with engine problems. Jimmie Johnson, lap 126, recaptures the lead off pit road. He had led the first 50 laps to start the race. And here, Jeff Gordon, his teammate, takes it away on lap 149 for the lead. 20,000 career laps and counting for Jeff Gordon. And right now, a guy named Jeff Burton is leading the way. Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers enjoying the race at the Hollywood Hotel and Casino. Some observations here as we know. Well, I have to talk about Matt Kenseth. I know the engine problems hit a lot of people. He told our Chris Devoto early on, hey, I doubt I could win this 3rd straight to set the record and make history. I don't think he thought he'd be gone. In fact, he's only finished last one other time in his entire career in a race.
No, Chris, I think you're right about that. I think the fact was that these guys came in here just they were going to have a good race. They weren't going to put any pressure on each other as far as trying to get this 3rd race. I think leading to points and getting the year started off was what they're really focused in on. And the fact that they wound up didn't win the race, no big deal.
All right.
But blowing up really like it is a big deal.
Jimmie Johnson, 3 out of the last 4 races here, has led a lot of laps. Still a guy watching here as we get ready to
I think you got to start looking at this guy because he's been, like I say, the king of the hill, 3 championships and 3 wins here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You've got to start looking and thinking that maybe the battle's going to come down now between these 2 teammates.